Hey, Shalom Akim. I want to give all praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh, Yahweh Shai, Kakadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who rule well. Peace, blessings, salutations to the elect, pushing the truth across the four corners of the earth. All right, if I didn't say it, double honors, of course, to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who rule well. I'm the brother Shaman of the Great Millstone Chicago branch, the branch of Great Millstone in Chicago. All right, and you have to understand the times that we're in. We always go over that. Know the times. It's a time for this, a time for that. The scriptures deals with that, man. There was a time for one thing. There was a time for being given into marriages and us, all this other shit. Now is the time for us to pay attention very closely to the things that are going on around us. Right? Like you just had this shooting in Kansas City. All right, you have a lot of nationalist Edomites, out here moving around. You got a lot of people fed up with the system and pissed off that, the whole border situation. So you really have to pay attention, and ultimately we're in the land of the heathen. We're under occupation. We're not out of here yet. We're still, like I said, yet to this day, we are still in our captivity. This is captivity now. We have certain little liberties that are given to us, Every servant, didn't have the same status. You had those who were the drawers of water and who did some more of the menial tasks. Then you had, like Daniel, started off as a servant and then he became president, which we're not trying to be president in these times, but he had a higher position. That's what I'm trying to say. But we're still servants. We're still in this captivity. These Edomites can still come in and throw you like Chicago. They got black sites. They got all kind of little shit where they could take you and hold you for however long they want to hold you. And it's ultimately through the will of the Lord, whatever happens to you. That's why we continue to pray, day and night. All right, Habakkuk 1:5. Behold ye among the heathen. And see, that's us. We're among the heathen. All right, we're in the heathen's land. These Edomites have came through, taken over, seized everything, snatched everything, rape, pillage. Jake, like I said, they'll come and they'll kind of restore a few things and, give you some stamps or some shit, but you're not going to get, 40 acres. You're not going to get 100 acres. You ain't going to get a condo in the F-150. It's no freebies coming. All right, and it's going to continue to be war and bloodshed on the earth until the Prince of Peace comes, who is also our Redeemer, who's also coming to redeem us. All right, get us back. So it says, behold ye among the heathen and regard and wonder marvelously, for I will work a work in your days, which ye will not believe, though it be told you. Right? So they're gonna work a work. So like I had to scoot over, man. I hate when people park right next to you, like a foot away. It's the land of the heathen. All right, this is why Israel is counted as heathens, man. This is why, just like we told the heathens when we were rebuilding the temple, you can't build with us, man. You 2/3 of Israel, you're persona non grata. You're not going to repent. You guys are going to continue to double down until the end and be destroyed. And you're going to try to sell us out for cheap. And then what happens too, like with down here, I believe this is Georgia, they had this prosecutor, Fannie Willis, where she's a long time coon, but then now with the whole Trump situation. I think she was the judge appointed over that situation. Now she's kind of trying to draw, support from Jake. And Jake does that, man. They'll sell their own people out. They'll do some foul shit, and then later on try to, get your support. Oh, it was just business, man. It was no, man. No. Hey, it says, behold ye among the heathen, and wonder marvelously, for I will work a work in your days, which ye will not believe, though it be told you. And that's what the Lord is about to do, man. He's about to do a miracle. Miracles. Look up miracle, a wondrous work of God. Yeah, wondrous work, object of wonder. To wonder at, marvel, be astonished. Miracles about to happen. You're about to see the elect is going to be given power. They're going to be made safe when all hell breaks out. They're going to be full when famine breaks out. Hey, when everybody's splitting and dividing up, the Lord is going to send, gifts to the elect, the booty. All right, everything is about to be turned upside down, and you can feel it. Right, that's why these Edomite women they trying to get out that jam, but it's too late. It says, "For lo, I raise up the Chaldeans, that bitter and hasty nation," which Esau is the modern day Chaldean. Chaldees were soothsayers, which shall march through the breadth of the land to possess the dwelling place that are not theirs. And that's what they've done. They've marched through this land which was not theirs, which is theirs now. It says, they are terrible and dreadful. Their judgment and their dignity shall proceed of themselves. All right, and the purpose of this lesson, too, I was just talking about being in somebody else's land. We're not in our land. All right, so you can never fall asleep at the wheel, so to speak. We're always in soldier mode, even when, you enjoying yourself, you're out and about. I got a quick scripture for that one, too. All right, we're always paying attention. Always peep shit. All right, Sirach 13:8. Beware that thou be not deceived and brought down in thy jollity. Now, you have a lot of men, which I've seen cases, people, they'll go deal with this broad, and then they'll walk to the store, or they'll go over here to this other side of town. They know they got ops over here, and then they'll start to get, they'll go to the bar, and then they'll get got. That's always how people get in situations, man. They stop paying attention. They stop peeping shit. Right? They trust abroad, or they trust in a situation that they don't even fully consider things. And we're men of understanding. We try to fully consider everything. All right, it says, they are terrible and dreadful. Their judgment and their dignity shall proceed of themselves. Their horses are swifter than the leopards, and even more fierce than the evening wolves. And their horsemen shall spread themselves, and their horsemen shall come from afar. They shall fly as the eagle that hasteth to eat. They shall come all for violence. Their faces shall sup as the east wind, and they shall gather the captivity as the sand. They shall scoff at the kings, and the princes shall be a scorn unto them. They shall deride every stronghold, for they shall heap dust and take it. And let's not forget what happened when they came over here initially. All right, because people think, this is Black History Month, and they gave us a month, and we're free, and you have Latino History Month, and you have Native American History Month, and look, man, that's the serpent. All right, that's that double speak. Smoothly. His words were smooth and butter, but war was in his heart. And you have to know that about these Edomites. See, I'm from St. Louis, a place where in the surrounding counties, you got a bunch of rednecks. You got a lot of Klansmen. It's a big Klan capital. All right, they'll throw that. I didn't work with Edomites who they came into the job with It's called the flag of Dixie. It's the Confederate flag. And then you ask them, well, what's that about? Oh, this is my love for Dixie. It's not about slavery. When nigga, Dixie was funded by slavery. And then you go to the inner city. Of course, they keep all the people that are poor, all the little, businesses and shit. Edomites come in and own it. They own a business in your neighborhood and then not hire you. And then when you accuse them of discrimination and all this other stuff, it never works out. All right, because they got the labor department, they're in on it. All right, they're overcharging you for goods and services. All right, in the energy department, all these different departments, man. They'll have a good transportation department. They'll put you on the bus and get you to work. All right, but then of course Jake, being a nigga, they gonna gangbang and do all this other shit so they can have a few more crumbs than you. Meanwhile, they right up the street in the same situation as you. Maybe they got a better car, better whatever small little crumbs that you might have. And that's why the Lord is calling us out and put us in a little sanctuary, man. That's what the men of the Lord are in every city. We have a little sanctuary with like-minded men, who come up a certain way, who build a certain way, and if not, you try to come up another way, then you're gonna be found out. All right, this is warfare. What's in Habakkuk starts off. Was it chapter 2 talking about being a watchman? That's us. We're the watchmen. We're the sentinels. We're soldiers. We're not here to fall in love. We're not here to fall asleep. All right, and our people around us who are in these places that, because Jake was redlined to be in the neighborhoods that they're at, especially in Chicago. Jake has their section. You go into these different sections and people are desperate. And there's no law established. There's no justice. All right, there's no righteousness. A lot of these women, man, you got to treat them like a heathen. They've been all kind of trains, all this shit. It's just a heathen vibration. And this place has to burn. All right, Leviticus 26:33. It has to, man. This land is defiled by blood. There's been too much bloodshed here. It says, and Leviticus 26:33, this is what happens when you don't heed the Lord. Matter of fact, let's start up at 27, because Israel think that I don't have to listen to you, and there's going to be no recompense for it. Well, you're wrong. It says, and if you will not for all this hearken unto me, but walk contrary unto me, then I will walk contrary unto you in fury. And I, even I, will chastise you 7 times for your sins. All right, 7-fold. Hard punishments, man, to this day. It said, and ye shall eat the flesh of your sons and the flesh of your daughters shall ye eat. All right, the food around us, it's always speculated, let me put it like that, so YouTube don't try to get me. Certain things are in the food. You can do your research on that. And I will destroy your high places and cut down your images and cast your carcasses upon the carcasses of your idols, and my soul shall abhor you. And I shall make your cities waste and bring your sanctuaries into desolation, and I will not smell the savor of your sweet odors. Right, and that's what the Lord did. He made those cities waste, gave them into the possession of the heathen, and now we're in a whole nother part of the world under their hand. So you have to understand where we're at, man. You got to have, your insurance information, whatever. If they pull you over, you got to know how to act. We don't have time to sit here and fucking argue, and they're going to take you to jail. They're going to tow your car. They're going to fine you more. You got to know when to use a soft answer, but then certain situations, a soft answer might not work. You know, so it's all through the Spirit. You know, we're not in our land. We're not in, you know, under you know, an order of a king or a priesthood or any of that stuff. That stuff is of course, you know, through the Spirit, but we're in somebody else's land under somebody else's rule. And that's what Paul was dealing with when he was going to the different churches. I think I read verse 32. And I will bring the land into desolation, and your enemies which dwell therein shall be astonished at it. And I will scatter you among the heathen and will draw out a sword after you. And that's where we're at, man. We're scattered among the heathen. I hate seeing that. I'm just in a random place, a random heathen just walking around me. Like, who the fuck is this guy? Just looking out of place and weird as fuck. Of course, Esau, you know, makes sure they fund them, and now that's backfiring. Look how that's playing out for you. And your land shall be desolate, and your cities waste. So, you want to make your heart fat? You want to turn your shoulder? Make your head hard? Well, it's gonna be a recompense for that. It's gonna be some results for that. All right, but with the elect, we're gonna be gathered out. But while we're here, man, you gotta pay attention. You know, certain stuff that you need. You know what you need. You gotta have this, that, the third. You know, I'm not finna sit here and go down the list. But just, you know, wherever you at, you gotta survive. You gotta have your job. You know, that's an order. Everybody should have a job. Everybody should have, you know, ID and all that shit. Now, do we want to have a, you know what I'm saying? Who wants to have an ID, a social security number, so you can be, but that's just how, you know. Hey, we deal with the law of the land. Now, that's why Paul, man, was so raw. All right, 2 Corinthians 11:32. He said, in Damascus, the governor under Aretas, the king, which Damascus is in Syria, I believe it's, if I'm not mistaken, it's the capital of Syria. It says, kept the city of the Damascenes with a garrison, desirous to apprehend me. And through the basket, and through the window in a basket was I let down by the wall and escaped his hands. Right, when you look up that word for garrison, I went into the Old Testament. Matter of fact, let's go to the New Testament, 2 Corinthians 11:32. To guard, even protect by a military guard. Yeah, these different cities were walled, and they had military guards in them. All right, to be a watcher in advance, that is to mount guard as a sentinel, post spies at gates. Hey, so you got spies out here. Figuratively to hem in. You know, they trying to watch over their city, so they spying on you and your business. And that's just like us, man. It's like I said, if they you know, you get into too many situations and shit, shake the dust off your feet, you might have to move to a different part of the city. Might have to go teaching in another, you know, another county, another part of the city, wherever. You know, look, hey, we're just pilgrims in the land. I truly have known what it feels like to be a pilgrim my whole life, man. We move here, move there, move over there. Move to this part of town, that part of town, this part of, and what it does is it makes you, it gives you an ability to be comfortable in uncomfortable situations. You start to figure out where everything's at. You start to figure out how you can maneuver better. People on this side, that's, you know what I'm saying? That's like us, man. We maneuver around. Right? Scripture talk about make friends in this world. You might have somebody up the street or something, you see them, you do business with them, whatever situation. Use what you got and use the gifts that the Lord gave you, ultimately to bring forth to the ministry. That's us, man. We pull stuff in from the world, pull, different, you got resources, you invest in, books and all this other stuff. And that's this ministry, man. It's a sanctuary. This is a spiritual fortress. All right, but at the same time, we keep it moving. All right, like David, he put garrisons in these other nations. That's what we got around us, garrisons. 2 Samuel 8:6. Then David put garrisons, in Syria of Damascus. So that's the same place where they just had garrisons waiting on Paul. All right, because we weren't in power anymore. The only time it's going to be in peace on this earth is when Israel's in power. And then David put garrisons in Syria, Damascus, and the Syrians became servants to David and brought gifts, and the Lord preserved David whithersoever he went. And David took the shields of gold that were on the servants of Hadadezer and brought them to Jerusalem, and from Beteh and from Berothai, cities of Hadadezer, King David took exceeding much brass. When Toi, king of Hamath, heard that David had smitten all the host of Hadadezer, then Toi sent Joram his son unto King David to salute him and to bless him, because he had fought against Hadadezer and smitten him, for Hadadezer had wars with Toi. And Joram brought with him vessels of silver and vessels of gold and vessels of brass, which also King David did dedicate unto the Lord with the silver and gold that he had dedicated of all nations which he subdued, of Syria, of Moab, and of the children of Ammon, and of the Philistines, and of Amalek, and the spoil of Hadadezer, son of Rehob, king of Zobah. And David gat him a name when he returned from smiting of Syrians in the valley of Salt, between 18,000 men. And he put garrisons in Edom. Throughout all Edom put he garrisons, and all of Edom became David's servants, and the Lord preserved David whithersoever he went. Right? And so now Esau, Edom is back in power, and now we're all servants. Right? And they got garrisons everywhere, man. So man, have your paperwork in order, have your shit. They pull you over, you got everything, and then the Lord will bless you, man. Use wisdom when you're speaking with them, dealing with them. Because understand that, everybody else is pissed off. They got demons on them. And Esau, they ready to they just in that spirit, man. They ready to just put, especially Jake, they ready to just finish Jake and put Jake to death. Right? Like I say, that flood is coming. Behind the scenes, these Edomites is tapping into that energy. All right, that's why they're coming out with a lot of these period pieces. Napoleon, Alexander. Like, hold up, man. And that's on the left and the right. All right, different. I think it was the Secretary of Homeland Security. I think they got him up out of the paint. Which, who gives a fuck? But that's the point. See, not once they were at the height, they were doing trade with everybody. They were trying to keep a good name, so they tried to keep, violence at a, what I'm saying. It wasn't just open slavery anymore. They were whipping you on the back. Now you clock in, you make money for them, you pay taxes to them, Of course, you know, if they get you with some bullshit, they're gonna try to, you know, execute you, but don't give them a reason. You know, now that their empire is falling, of course it's gonna be more bloodshed. Like they said, seeing they have but a short time. They know that they have but a short time. All right, so hey man, just move intelligent. Like Jake say, we move Millie out here. All right, we move smart, man. We move wisely. All right, wise as serpents. You gotta understand, man. You dealing with the head snake of the world. Right? When you look at these different shows, you know, even the cartoon, you know, but there's some real life comparisons that they use when they write those scripts. Cobra Commander and shit. You really have people like that. These Edomites really, you know, in these Ukrainian countries and these different neo-Nazis. And you have a lot of those people here. A lot of these people will say that they're Polish and they're this and that. They could be from somewhere completely different. They just crossed the border and then came to you know. They could say they're Polish and they're really Russian. They could say they're this and they're really Ukrainian. All right, so, and then of course they could just appoint them as a United Nation troop, and then have them to come and you know, into your neighborhood or whatever, and have them regulate. Right, because you know, we don't have enough police officers, so we have to have, you know, they're already doing that right now in the city. They're doing you see a lot of state troopers, and they have, you know, different militias for every state. So, hey, man, stay on point, stay on your toes, continue to pray, continue to watch. The Wadi Yabashim Awashah for the inspiration. Shalom.